"We don't waste a cake on him," my mom said at my son's 7th birthday as she handed the knife to my sister's kid. "Instead," my brother snickered. "Guess he'll never be worth celebrating anyway." Dad just nodded. I didn't argue. I picked up my son and left smiling. That night I canceled their mortgage, froze their cards, and pulled back $62,282 in transfers. By morning their house was dark, their cars were gone, and their phones lit up with dozens of missed calls I never answered. "My name is Michael. I'm 38. For most of my adult life I've been the dependable one, the person my family called when rent was short, car payments overdue, or they needed a co-signer they couldn't get elsewhere. I wired money on birthdays, spent alone, covered emergencies that weren't really emergencies. I did it quietly because I thought that's what family meant. My son turned 7 today. His name is Liam. He has my eyes and his late mother's smile. She passed when he was 2. Since then it's been us building a life that feels whole. Even when the world says it isn't. Liam loves dinosaurs, asks questions about everything, draws pictures of us as superheroes. To him I'm the greatest dad. To my family I've always been something else, the wallet, the backup plan, the one who shows up when nobody else will. My sister Anna has 2 kids. They're loud, always praised, the center of every gathering. My brother Ryan has none, but he's always been mom and dad's favorite, the golden child who could do no wrong even when he dropped out of college on their dime or wrecked the car I helped buy. I learned early some people mattered more than others. I never expected them to make Liam feel it too. Growing up I was responsible by default, not choice. At 16 I watched my parents sell my laptop to buy Ryan a car for his birthday. They said I didn't need it for school. Ryan deserved something special. I worked 2 jobs that summer to buy another one. Nobody noticed. At 23 I took a loan to help dad cover 3 months of mortgage after he lost his job. He promised to pay me back, never did. When I brought it up years later mom said I was petty. Family doesn't keep score, so I stopped asking. When Anna got engaged she wanted a wedding she couldn't afford. Mom called crying saying Anna's dream day was falling apart. I sent $12,000. Anna thanked me once in a text with a typo. At the wedding I sat at a table in the back with distant cousins. Ryan gave the toast. I told myself it was fine. That's what love looked like in our family. Sacrifice without recognition, support without gratitude, showing up even when nobody saw you. But Liam changed everything. When his mother died I realized I couldn't raise him in the shadow I'd lived in. I wanted him to know his worth, feel celebrated, seen, valued. 3 days ago mom called about Liam's birthday, offered to host a small party at their house. I hesitated. Family gatherings left me hollow, but Liam got excited when I told him grandma wanted to celebrate him. He made a list of games, picked a superhero cake design online, showed it to me 6 times, counted down the hours every morning. I should have known better, should have remembered some kids get celebrated, others tolerated, but I wanted to believe this time would be different, that they'd see Liam the way I saw him, bright, kind, worth everything. I was wrong. The backyard was full when we arrived, balloons tied to the fence, a folding table with snacks, paper plates in uneven towers, a dozen relatives milled around with drinks, laughing at jokes I couldn't hear. Liam ran ahead, his new sneakers lighting up with every step I followed, carrying the gift bag with the cake topper. He'd chosen a tiny plastic superhero with a cape. Anna's kids were the center of attention. Her oldest, a boy 2 years younger than Liam, showed off a new remote control car. People gathered, clapping, laughing as it zipped across the grass. Liam slowed near the group, his excitement dimming. No one greeted him, no one said happy birthday. Mom appeared from the kitchen carrying a plain sheet cake, not the superhero design Liam talked about all week, just generic white frosting with random plastic candles. She set it on the table without looking at me. I walked over, chest tightening. Mom, where's the cake we talked about? She waved dismissively. Oh, I didn't order that one, too expensive for something he won't remember. My jaw tightened. He's been talking about it for days. Well, this one's fine. She turned away, adjusting the tablecloth like the conversation was over. Liam stood next to me staring at the cake. I saw disappointment in his face, his shoulders dropping slightly. I knelt down, whispered, it's okay buddy, we'll make it special. But it wasn't okay, and it got worse. Mom clapped for attention. The backyard went quiet. Everyone gathered. Liam moved toward the cake, his small hand reaching for the knife. Mom's hand shot out, stopped him. The silence deepened. Actually, she said, loud and deliberate, we don't waste a cake on him. The words hit like a slap. I froze. Liam looked up, confused, his hand hovering in midair. Mom picked up the knife, turned to Anna's youngest. Here, sweetheart, you cut the first piece. My pulse hammered around us. People shifted uncomfortably. A few looked away. Someone coughed. No one spoke. No one stopped her. Ryan laughed, sharp, cruel, cutting through the silence. Guess he'll never be worth celebrating. Anyway, the words hit Liam like a punch. I saw it in his face. Confusion turned to hurt, then something worse, resignation, like he'd suspected this might happen. Dad stood near the grill, arms crossed, beer in hand. He looked at me, nodded once, slow, deliberate, like he agreed. Liam's eyes filled with tears. He didn't cry out loud, didn't make a scene, just stood small, silent, while Anna's kids sawed into the cake. People pretended it was normal. I watched my son's heartbreak in real time. Something inside me cracked cold. Final. I didn't argue, didn't shout. I picked Liam up, held him close. He buried his face in my shoulder, trembling. We're leaving, I said quietly. Mom scoffed. Oh, don't be dramatic, Michael. I didn't answer. I carried Liam through the yard, past relatives who wouldn't meet my eyes, past the table with the cake that wasn't for him. I strapped him into his car seat. He cried soft, broken sobs that made my chest ache. I sat in the driver's seat, stared at the house, hands gripped the steering wheel. Knuckles white. Then I smiled. Liam fell asleep an hour after we got home. I sat on his bed, watched him breathe, his face streaked with dried tears. He'd cried in the car. When we walked through the door, asked why Grandma didn't like him, why Uncle Ryan said those things, why nobody sang happy birthday. I didn't have answers that wouldn't break him further, so I held him, told him he was loved, mattered more than anything. When he drifted off exhausted, I sat in the dark, felt something I hadn't in years, rage, not hot, explosive, the cold kind, settling deep in my bones. I walked to the living room. The apartment was silent, except the refrigerator's hum. I replayed the afternoon. Mom's hand stopping Liam, her voice, we don't waste a cake on him. Ryan's laugh, Dad's nod, they'd hurt my son, humiliated him in front of family, took his birthday, a day about him, turned it into a reminder he didn't matter to them, so casually, like he was nothing. I thought about the years I'd spent earning their respect, the money I'd given, times I'd shown up. I'd convinced myself if I kept giving, helping, being dependable, they'd see me, appreciate me. They never had, never would. To them I wasn't a son or brother, a resource, a backup plan. They'd extended that indifference to Liam, my son, who deserved better than I'd ever gotten. I thought about his face today, confusion, hurt, quiet acceptance, like he'd learned not to expect more. I couldn't let him grow up like I had, invisible, taken for granted, waiting for scraps of affection. I had to protect him if that meant cutting them off completely. That's what I'd do, but that wasn't enough, not after today. They needed to feel what they'd lost. I was the only one who could make that happen. I stood, walked to my desk, opened my laptop, the screen glowed. I pulled up my banking app, email, saved files, looked at numbers I'd ignored for 15 years, numbers that told a story they never learned. I sat for 3 hours, Liam asleep, down the hall, apartment silent except key clicks and confirmation email pings. I started with the mortgage. My parents refinanced their house 6 years ago, needed a co-signer because Dad's credit was terrible. Mom maxed out 3 cards I'd signed without hesitation, made payments when they couldn't 3 times in 2 years, $1,400 each time. I logged into the mortgage portal, my name was on as cosigner and authorized payer. I removed my account, deleted my payment method, sent an email to the lender requesting removal from payment reminders. Then utilities, I'd set up autopay for their electric and water 4 years ago when their power nearly got shut off. They never asked, mentioned it in passing. I quietly started paying $160 a month every month for 4 years. I canceled the autopay accounts, reverted to their names, downloaded payment history, $7,680 over 4 years. Credit cards next. I'd added Mom and Dad as authorized users on 2 cards years ago for emergencies. They said emergencies became groceries, gas, dinners. Online shopping statements showed $18,215 over 6 years. I'd paid minimums while they racked up charges. I removed them as authorized users, requested new card numbers, noted their charges, flagged them in records. Austin's car I'd co-signed for, he'd sworn he'd make payments, made 3 in 2 years. I made 21, car in his name, my credit tied to it. I sent a formal request to the lender to remove myself as co-signer, attached documentation showing I made most payments, requested a credit dispute. Anna's situation was different. I'd sent her money directly, $12,000 for the wedding, $3,000 when her husband lost his job, $2,500 for her kids' medical bills, $4,000 in smaller amounts for birthdays, holidays, emergencies. I couldn't take that back but could ensure it never happened again. I blocked their numbers, Mom, Dad, Ryan. Anna didn't block. Email, wanted to see what happened when bills bounced, lights went out, cards declined. By 2 a.m. I was done, stared at the list, every account touched, payment canceled, connection severed, $62,282. That's what I'd given over 15 years. They'd repaid me by humiliating my son. I closed the laptop, felt no guilt, no conflict, just calm. They showed up Thursday, 3 days after the party, 3 days after cutoffs. I was making lunch for Liam when pounding hit the door, loud aggressive peephole showed Mom, Dad, Ryan. Mom's face red, Ryan furious. I opened the door halfway, didn't step aside, didn't invite them in. What's going on, Michael? Mom's voice sharp. Mortgage payment didn't go through, electric company sent a shut-off notice, my card declined at the store. I leaned against the door frame. That's unfortunate. Dad stepped forward. Did you cancel the autopay? I did. Why would you do that? Mom's voice rose. We're your family. I looked at her, felt nothing, no guilt, no hesitation, just certainty. Family, I said slowly, doesn't humiliate a 7-year-old at his birthday. Ryan scoffed. You're still upset about that? It was a joke. It wasn't to Liam. Mom waved dismissively. He's fine, kids, forget you're being ridiculous. I'm being ridiculous. I straightened. I've paid your mortgage, utilities, credit cards for years. You humiliated my son in front of family, handed his cake to someone else, said he wasn't worth it. You think I'm ridiculous? Dad's face darkened. We needed that help. You can't pull it away. Yes, I said, steady. I can. Mom's eyes narrowed. You're destroying us over a cake. No, I met her gaze. I'm stopping enabling you. There's a difference. Ryan stepped closer, jaw tight. You think you're better than us? No, I know I deserve better, and so does Liam. Mom's face twisted. Fine, don't come crawling back when you need us. I almost laughed. When had I needed them? When had they shown up without expecting something? I won't, I said. Dad pointed. You're making a mistake. The only mistake, I said, was thinking you'd treat Liam the way he deserves. I won't make it again. I stepped back, closed the door, locked it, heard them shouting, muffled, angry, didn't open it, walked to the kitchen. Liam was coloring at the table. Who was that? Dad. Nobody important, buddy. He went back to drawing. I stood watching, felt relief, clarity, power. I'd spent 15 years trying to be enough for them, proving I mattered, looking for validation in the wrong place, didn't need their Approval love anything now they'd learn how much they needed me. That night after Liam slept I pulled out files, bank statements, cancelled checks, transfer receipts, email confirmations. My accounting background made me meticulous, never thought I'd need them like this. Spread everything on the dining table, 15 years of financial history holding them together while they pretended I didn't exist, organized by category: mortgage first, records of every payment, $1,400 each time, 3 in 2023, twice in 2024, once in 2025, $12,600 not counting cosigner role. Utilities next, autopay confirmations, 4 years electric, water, $160 monthly, $7,680 highlighted each, compiled into a document. Credit cards, Messier pulled statements from both cards, highlighted purchases not mine, dinners at restaurants I never visited, gas stations in their zip code, online shopping, groceries near their house, total $18,215 calculated 3 times. Austin's car loan documents with my cosigner signature, 21 payments of $347, $7,287 screenshots of Ryan's emails promising to take over, payments never kept. Then Anna's direct transfers, $12,000 wedding, $3,000 job loss, $2,500 medical bills, $4,000 smaller amounts, compiled every confirmation, added it all up 3 times, $62,282. 15 years being their safety net. They'd repaid me by telling Liam he wasn't worth a cake, made physical copies, digital copies in the cloud, saved to a flash drive, wanted proof they couldn't deny, pulled up the mortgage account still listed as cosigner, sent a formal letter to the lender requesting removal, cited non-payment by primary borrowers, attached payment records, requested my credit no longer tied to their default, drafted emails to credit card companies, explained authorized users made unauthorized charges, disputed their balance portion, attached highlighted statements, requested charges separated, sent to collections under their names. For Ryan's car, filed complaint with lender, documented he made 3 payments in 2 years, I made 21, requested loan restructured to remove me future missed payments not to affect my credit, scheduled emails for 6 a.m. wanted them to wake to fall out, sat back, looked at the table covered in evidence, not just money, years of being invisible, giving without receiving, watching them take while offering nothing. They'd humiliated Liam because they thought I'd never push back, thought I'd stay quiet, dependable, invisible. They were wrong. Email sent at 6 a.m. Friday. I was awake, sat at the kitchen table with coffee, watched confirmations roll in. Mortgage lender sent, credit card company 1 cent, credit card company 2 cent, auto lender sent. By 7:30 phone started ringing, let every call go to voicemail. Mom, Dad, Anna, Ryan. Mom again, Ryan again. Calls came in waves, frantic, overlapping, played voicemails on speaker while making breakfast for Liam. Mom's voice shaking, Michael, what did you do? The bank called, you're disputing the cosigner agreement, mortgage overdue, you won't cover it, call me now. Ryan shouting, you piece of crap, car lender called, you're trying to get out of the loan, if I don't pay in 5 days they're repossessing, you can't do this. Anna crying, Michael please, mom's electric shut off this morning, you cancelled autopay, why, she's your mother, call her dad. Cold, furious, you'll regret this, you can't abandon family, we'll fight every dispute, you're not getting away. Deleted each voicemail, blocked their numbers completely, no calls, texts, voicemails. Liam came in rubbing eyes, morning dad, morning buddy, want pancakes? Yes please. Made pancakes, helped him dress for school, packed his lunch, drove him to school, watched him run inside, backpack bouncing, normal, safe, protected, back home. Checked email responses coming in, mortgage lender confirmed request and documentation due to my payment history. Primary borrower's failure, reviewing cosigner removal account, 60 days past due, entering pre-foreclosure, read the words twice, I'd made my last payment early July, now late September, they'd missed 2 payments, lender moving fast, first credit card company confirmed, disputed charges forwarded to collections under mom and dad's info, second company similar, $18,215 their problem, auto lender confirmed, Ryan missed multiple payments, I covered majority, car flagged for repossession, 72 hours to bring account current by noon, blocked call log showed 37 attempts. Imagine the panic, lights off at their house, mortgage lender calling about foreclosure, credit card companies demanding payment, repo company looking for Ryan's car, wondered if they understood, connected the dots, realized every bill they couldn't pay, service lost, consequence traced to me, wondered if they thought about Liam, his face when mom said those words, the tears he cried in my car, if they felt a fraction of his pain. Checked phone one last time, 41 missed calls, turned off ringer, put it face down, they could call all they wanted, I wasn't answering, not today, tomorrow, ever. They'd made their choice at the party they'd live with mine. 2 weeks later, heard through a cousin, mom and dad's house dark, no power, no water, staying with Anna, whose husband furious about house guests and bills they couldn't contribute. Ryan's car repossessed on day 4, tried to make a payment, too little too late, taken from a grocery store lot while shopping, called police claiming it stolen, police showed repossession order, credit card company sent collections notices, mom and dad's credit scores dropped 140 points in 2 weeks. Anna told cousin mom cried for hours when she saw letters, dad punched a wall, mortgage in pre-foreclosure, lender filed initial notices, 60 days to bring account current or face auction, tried to refinance, get loan modification, credit too damaged, no lender Would touch them, felt nothing, no guilt, no satisfaction, just calm. They called once from an unrecognized number, answered by accident, mom's voice shaking. Michael, please, we're losing the house, need help. Paused, then said quietly, you should have thought about that before. Humiliating. My son hung up, blocked the number. Liam, doing better, took him to a therapist to process what happened. Therapist said he's resilient, understands some people don't know how to love correctly, not his fault. Had his real birthday party 2 weeks after the disaster, just us 3 school friends, ordered the superhero cake he wanted, played games in the park, ate pizza. He laughed so hard he got hiccups at night's end. He hugged me tight, this was the best birthday ever. Dad held him close, something broke open in my chest, not pain, relief. I'm glad, buddy, you deserve the best. I love you, Dad, I love you too. Got a letter 3 weeks after everything, handwritten from Mom, 6 pages, apologies, excuses, blame, said I overreacted, destroying family over a misunderstanding. Liam, too young to remember, why did it matter? Read it once, shredded it. Liam and I moved forward, put money I'd sent them into a savings account for his future college car, whatever he needed. In 3 months saved $4,500, money that disappeared into their bills, now building his future. Didn't hear from them after the letter, no calls, voicemails. Cousin said they moved into a smaller rental after foreclosure. Ryan working 2 jobs to afford a used car. Anna stopped speaking to them, hosting them nearly destroyed her marriage, their world collapsed. I walked away, took Liam to the park Saturday afternoon, sat on a bench, watched him feed ducks by the pond, sun setting, casting gold across the water. He smiled. Dad, are we going to grandma's for Thanksgiving? Shook my head. No, buddy, we're doing our own thing this year, just us. He thought, nodded. That's okay, I like when it's just us. Me too. Sat until the sun went down for the first time in 15 years, felt free.